so I guess I kind of was curious about what it's like for parents to have a child with a dual diagnosis of Down syndrome and autism. So I interviewed 6 parents across the UK who've got children with Down syndrome and autism with a dual diagnosis. And all of them said that they just didn't know kind of where they fit in terms of the camp. So they would say they would go to a Down syndrome support group, and they would feel that they kind of their child wasn't developing in the same way as the other children with Down syndrome were. And then they would go to an autism-specific support group, and they didn't feel like they fitted in there either. So this real sense of just not knowing where they belong, and as parents, that's really, really difficult for them to kind of, where to access support and where to meet other parents too. And so from that, it was kind of a way they've come to maybe understand that. So some parents spoke about the fact that the autism was quite significant. That was a significant issue and difficulty that they were experiencing. Whereas other parents would say, well, actually, you can't really separate the two. You know what? They've got both Down syndrome and autism, and the two are really very combined. And other parents would talk about this idea of a spectrum of Down syndrome spectrum as well as an autism spectrum. And then from that, it's a case of like, well, now I've got a bit of an understanding, or I've kind of got my head around it to some extent. Well, what do I do about it now? And so then parents spoke about the fact that they would want to get it right, and I need to get the right support, and I need to get the right school for my child. And so one mum spoke about the fact that she'd moved her child from mainstream to a special school for autism to then a special needs school, and just each and every time she had to go back through this process of saying, well, where do I belong in this? So I guess the conclusion from this, although it's a really small scale piece of very exploratory work with only 6 participants, but the idea is that perhaps the specific support for parents with both the diagnoses is actually in having a narrative, so having the opportunity to talk about that experience was something that they would really value, and something actually that future work would really be useful for. If that's okay.
Thank you so much.
No. Well, as I say, take contact details and get in touch, because all this will be going online and things, so I can provide more information and a bit more detail to the rest of your group if that would be helpful for you.